but we both grew up in the town of Raymond. How would you describe Raymond?
It's a cute town, honestly. I don't know if cute's the right word. Maybe I shouldn't say use that, but it's a close-knit community where families date back generations and can kind of come together and be a great asset to one another, and they really care about each other. That's how I look at Raymond.
How would you describe it physically to people that are unaware of it?
Yeah, so we are an odd town that we're right on the cusp of urbanness, I feel like. We're right in between Chicago and Milwaukee, about 30 miles from Chicago, 60 miles?
We're about like, depends where you start it. It's like 70.
Okay.
65.
Depends
For like
on where you hit.
Where I get off, it's like 76 miles, I think, end trip. Yeah. Anyways, it's like an hour and a half if you're driving.
Yeah. And we're right on the
on the highway. Hour 15 if you're taking the 94.
Yeah.
And then we're like 30 minutes from Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's just a hop and a skip. But you can literally, the interstate runs right on the east side of the town, so you can just hop off into the town and do your thing. There's not tons of there's no box stores in Raymond. I don't know. It's all kind of more small business.
Fireworks stores. We're known for our fireworks.
Yes. 2 fireworks stores.
2 fireworks stores.
And then a couple construction-esque. We now have a internet service. Evergent moved in town by the grade school area.
See, I didn't know about that. Like, so I live in Chicago, but I come back once a month, once every 6 weeks or so. Those watching might understand this, or I've probably said this before, but like I have this life philosophy that humans are either meant to be in nature or with each other. So I get both of those fulfilled by living in Chicago, and then also coming back and like taking a break mentally and just being out where I can just smell the dirt, be in the fields, be on the farm, go to the pond, take a walk in the woods. And I need kind of both of those. And but I have noticed, like, coming back though, there's more development, or there's more houses, and it kind of like my internal system is like getting thrown off every time I come back, and I'm like, this isn't
normal.
Yeah, well, like change happens, but it's I don't know if this is the change I necessarily want. So I've had conversations with other people, and I think that's how we kind of got in touch, more so. Because I don't, like, when I come back, I don't really necessarily, I just kind of hang out on the farm and do my thing.
Nature.
But we've met a few times, and what's your perspective on it?
Yeah, so I actually grew up technically in the town over, because I was in North Cape area, but we had family ties always to Raymond, so we came here all the time, and like Raymond 4-H was our thing, and my family owns a business here.
This is like a half mile.
It's not much difference. So it was always Raymond was the town. So when we bought our house in Raymond, and watching things start to build up, it's kind of sad, and it's kind of, you just wonder, you talk about the loss of farmland, and you talk about how there's no farmers that want to take over. Well, I wouldn't say that's necessarily the case, especially to people I've talked to in the area. They want to take it over. However, farmland is less valuable than developmental land. Yeah. So if you can sell your farmland for more money, that's the option people are taking at this time. So it's hard to see. It's understandable to some extent. But for me, I get really sad watching it all. Kind of a house pop up here, or subdivision over there, just little by little, because you just start losing that charm and character of the town.
It is. It starts to look like every other place.
Yeah.
And places I don't like spending time in. So it's like, to me, and Kallie Jo and I have talked about this, and it's like, it's almost like this point of time, or you sense this, you have this sense of like, well, we should, if we don't like it, if I don't like it, or if you don't like it, or if we don't like it, we should get together and discuss it, right? Because otherwise it'll just happen.
Just without any input.
By physics or gravity, it will just happen. And so in order, so it's like a point of inflection for a community to come together and say, like, who are we? Who were we? Who are we now? What do we want to become? Who do we want to become? And take steps to take initiative to do that, right?
Yeah, and start having those conversations and
Yeah.
be open about it. I think there's a lot of people who internally feel it, where they don't express their concerns, and then there's also the people who do express their concerns but might not know how to get to the same people with the same like-minded concerns.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's nothing is necessarily good or bad. It's just a matter of defining as a community, like, what do we want?
Yeah.
You know? Because then once you decide that and you get more people sharing the same values, then that's when you can start to make headway and make progress.
Make change.
Yeah, so we've been in like preliminary discussions, you and I, of like, okay, well we're
on the same page, yeah.
Who else is on the same page? And so we're actively, taking steps to try to find other people and communicate and organize like that. So.
Yeah, and it's a slow process, but it's definitely a process that needs to happen, and so, or that's how I see it.
If you want to. If you want to make progress, or if you want something, you have to try, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
That
it will not happen.
Yes.
This is very, very simple in life, right? If you want something, no one's just going to give it to you, especially if they don't know, right? You have to...
You have to make known, and you have to work at it.
Yeah, you have to put forth the effort. So that's here. I love Raymond.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice town. It really is.
It is. And I don't want it to become something generic like I noticed with other areas.
It's too easy to fall into that. It's easy to put up houses and do this and this and this and bring people, especially where we're located. If it weren't for where we're located, that's easy to me. What's more, but if you take the harder road and you really work at it and you keep the town the way, keep that character and you work at that, I think that's more important. And
also you can benefit from staying true to who you are. Like in the long run, it's more lucrative is probably the wrong word, but the more you are yourself, which is different from everybody else, the more you'll stand out.
Makes you special.
And everybody can benefit from it. So those are some of the things that we've been talking about off camera, stuff like that. It was quite beautiful.